Hello Eternum and welcome to KOTT News, Eternum's #1 source for news, and this is the War Report. No change in the dynamic of Eternum last night, as you might expect after a night of peace. With no war to report on, KOTT News crews were able to participate in volunteer efforts against the corruption in Cutlass Keys. A mad scramble to keep the corrupted from breaching the fort gates, but the all-volunteer squad was able to succeed once more. Returning to our ongoing investigation to the egg smuggling cartel in Brimstone, KOTT News were able to broker a temporary truce with Angry Earth forces, who agreed to share intel about their efforts to stop the smuggling operation. Following their insight, we were able to discover the whereabouts of a hidden chamber which led the way to a potential hideout of the nefarious crew. KOTT News will bring you more on this story as it develops. Looking at the weather for tonight, and I'd be fibbing if I told you the sun was going to take a day off from its continuous trek across the Eternum sky. And I certainly couldn't fool any of you about the possibility of the corruption invasion forces coming out yet again later across 20% of the island. 2 lineup submissions for simulated fantasy combat resolution tonight, brought to you by LARPco. Remember, if it isn't LARPco, it's cardboard. With special thanks to the Craft Services crew. If you'd like to support KOTT News, Patreon is currently the best way. First up, the Marauders of Dog Down attack the Covenant hero worshippers of Outcasts for control of the bear-infested deep forests of Brightwood. Dog Down forces launch a surprise attack from their staging ground in the Peat Moss Bog from the east, striking quickly in the hopes of expanding their land holdings along the northern rim of controlled Eternum. But despite their preparations for their own offensive efforts later in the evening, the proselytizers of the Outcasts should have a defensive contingent standing by to rebuke this bold blitzkrieg. Then, the Syndicate members of Viva la Resistance assault the Marauders of HBM for control of the northern mountain ranges of Morningdale. Viva la Resistance, standing up against the unruly nature of the Marauders, have quickly organized the citizenry of Greyvale to rise up against the tyranny and take a stand. But the Marauders of HBM weren't some random group of ransacking roughnecks. They simply walked into the fort and claimed the abandoned keep as their own. So they'll fight to preserve the only place they can call home. Meanwhile, the Covenant hero worshippers of Outcasts attack the Syndicate members of JDB's Kitchen for Crown and Kingdom of the Western Monarch's Bluff. The big dogs of the island step up to the plate and battle once more, but have the Outcasts improve their game to be competitive with the biggest dogs of the land. JDB's Kitchen staff get ready to defend against the island's leading group of religious fanatics, anxiously awaiting the opportunity to test the caliber of talent challenging their reign. Be sure to tune in for complete coverage and reactions from the citizens tonight at 11. Until then, this has been War Correspondent JChalant, KOTT News.